Hey everybody, it's Bob Smith from Smith Taekwondo and Pro Sport Kickboxing, Hawaii's largest center for martial arts. And coming to you again today with a Don't Be That Guy. This is the guy that walks in and has the preferential treatment. Now we've all had them over the years. I've had dozens of these guys come in. My school has always been known as a fighting school. As a matter of fact, I don't even wear rank on my black belt. I figure that if you want to know what my rank is, you can ask me. If you want to question my rank, you can test me. But I don't need to have 7 or 8 or 9 or 15 stripes on my black belt and wear one of these uniforms that has badges all down the sleeves for all the different clubs you're in, the motivation club, the kicking club, the splits club, the SWAT team club. I'm just here to kick, punch, sweat, and live. But we get these guys in and we welcome everybody, but we have people that come in and they want that preferential treatment. First thing they'll do is they'll wear this just gaudy looking uniform. Stripes everywhere, badges, shields, stars, and don't get me wrong, I give out patches and morale badges and stars for my kids. But for me, like I said, I just wear a regular uniform and I'm just here to sweat. On the rare opportunity that I do get a chance to train with my school, that's all I want to do. But anybody that knows me or any of my black belts or past black belts that have been here, then they know that as well. But these guys will come in and you'll see that them stand up and their black belt is so starched that if you stand in certain directions or turn in certain directions, they'll pick up satellite signals. You know, they have one of those guys around when the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight comes along, because they might be able to pick up a satellite channel and you can watch it for free. But a black belt is supposed to be that person who's just a badass, and you've earned that right to wear it, and you earn that right every day. It's not a person who earned it 20 years ago and now they're a heavy smoker, heavy drinker, or they quit. A black belt who quit, that doesn't train anymore. But when they come in, they still want that preferential treatment. They want the world or the school or your gym or all of your members to know that they were here or they earned it. Well, you earn that black belt every day. It's these guys that come in and they say, I know Bob. Yeah, me and Bob, we go way back. First of all, if you were an experienced black belt, you would never walk up to the students or the members of the gym and call the instructor by his first name. That shows no respect for what the rest of the students are working for and trying to accomplish, as far as their respect and discipline and esprit de corps that is built within the gym itself. So don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that, and I get them every once in a while. I've had black belts that have been gone for 20 years, and one came back a few years ago and he went out of his way to try to tell the rest of the school, yeah, me and Bob. And I finally had to tell him, dude, it's not me and Bob. You quit 20 years ago because you couldn't follow the rules then and you didn't even get your black belt. And now you're trying to stand here and impress upon my 2nd and 3rd and 4th degree black belts that me and you have something special because you didn't follow the rules back then. These guys who are lined up with me every day, that put their black belts on every day, the ones who are in here teaching every day, the ones who are helping my kids develop and grow, and they nurture those kids every day, those are legitimate black belts. Not just because somebody paid somebody off for a free black belt certificate or they bought their black belt. Had a parent, his boys trained here years ago, and he would always grumble, about, oh, I'll never get my belt because of my knees, and I got bad knees and this and that. And I was this close to giving this guy, testing him. And I understand when you have physical limitations. Any instructor that doesn't understand that, well, that's a different topic for a different conversation. But I was this close to giving this guy the opportunity to test and let him earn his black belt. And his wife approaches me one day and she says, you should just give it to him. And I was like, pardon me? And she goes, you should just give him his black belt. He deserves it. I don't know why he deserves it. This is a guy that, as a parent, he would start fights with other parents he would start arguments with these guys outside the gym. Um, it was always about his boys, and that was it. And he got all salty after she said that. He got salty with me, and he kind of felt like, yeah, I do deserve it. My kids have been here long enough that I deserve a black belt. How in the hell does your kids being here mean that you deserve a black belt? It doesn't. So he went on his merry way and left, and it was a good thing that he did. Went to another school, and ironically, he was given a black belt. But it's amazing that people want that sense of entitlement. If you push yourself and you allow your weightlifting buddy or your running buddy or your martial arts buddy, if you let them push you just out of your comfort zone, and it won't be fun, but every day, had one of my black belts a few months ago, she posted a video of her cranking out like 40 push-ups in a row, and she had stated, 6 months ago she couldn't do 5 push-ups, and now she's cranking out 40 like an Army Ranger. And it's because she was pushed every day, and she pushed herself, and she didn't accept mediocrity, and she busted her butt, and she got there. And it's the people who always make the excuses that they won't, but they, I've already got my black belt, so me and you, we're not on the same level, and that pisses some people off when I tell them that. And I try to avoid telling people that because I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but no, we're not on the same level. I had a friend of mine that told Dennis Alexio, and if those of you guys who don't know Dennis Alexio, Google him, the old Dennis Alexio, my hero, not the guy who got in trouble. And he was the baddest man on the planet. He was the toughest kickboxer in the world. When other kickboxers were working full-time jobs and they were fighting on the PKC and the ISK sports channels part-time, and just for a chance to get on TV, this guy was making a living out of it. He was living the Hollywood lifestyle, and he was the jet-setting kickboxer and martial artist. And he did as much for kickboxing and full contact martial arts, especially in Hawaii, as Bruce Lee did for martial arts in general. And this buddy of mine walks up to him, and the guy had had a couple of amateur fights. And he actually has the gall to look at Dennis Alexio and tell him, mister, I've been in this business a long time, and this is how the kickboxing should run. And I'm thinking, are you a complete idiot? You're telling the world heavyweight champion of kickboxing how you think his kickboxing should be. But you'll get these guys that'll walk into the gym, and I've seen that too. I've seen guys when Dennis would be training here for a fight. He spent 20 years here in our gym training, preparing for his fights, and he would train at Kalakaua Boxing Gym or wherever, Kaneohe Gym quite a bit. But the majority of his time he was spent here, so I laugh when I see guys come in, ang chain din sa Alexio cause. Shut up. No, you didn't. You may have been in the same room with Dennis Alexio. He may have punched you once or twice if you have any boxing experience. But, these guys that are entitled, they think that for some reason, because they have a Acme karate certificate, that entitles them to, I don't know, for the world to know who they are. And I have a lot of friends in the military, and some guys have been Navy Special Forces, Army Special Forces, and I am a private military contractor and an instructor, and I don't dare say that I am on the same level as Navy SEALs or Army Special Forces or Marine Raiders. I can shoot good. I know the tactics, a lot of the tactics, not all the tactics. I shoot better than most, but for me to say that, I'm the same as you guys, that's insulting to those guys. And it's insulting to me when people come up and say, we had this lady downstairs from Mana Fitness, and they closed down recently, and it was what a thorn in my side she was for years, and she felt she was entitled because she ran a Les Mills fitness program. And I kind of laughed. I was like, pardon me? And she goes, yes, I like to have them to come to my gym and train. And I'm like, you want my students to go to your gym? Yeah. Well, 9. And she actually got mad at me over that. I told her, I said, that's insulting for you to come into my business. And I said, the first thing this lady did was put up a kickboxing sign. Mana Fitness Kickboxing, body combat, body attack. But the lady was the biggest fake, and I told her that. And her husband was some high-ranking Navy military officer, and he came up here and he goes, perhaps you just misunderstood my wife. And I'm like, no, I speak Kami, and didn't misunderstand her. She wants my business because she told me that she knew that I have a very big following in Hawaii, and I do. I have a big following. Don't want the criminals, don't want the thugs, I don't want the MMA thugs, the quality MMA fighters and the respectful, disciplined fighters. Absolutely, I love you guys, nothing but respect. But never had any respect for the garage fighters and these guys who are just covered in tattoos, and somehow they want the world to know that, yeah, I lost 9 fights, but I'm still good, cause I deserve that respect, deserve that respect. And no, you don't. You don't deserve it. But this lady too, she came up and she felt like she and I were on the same level because she was a aerobic kickboxing instructor. I asked her, hey, how many fights have you had? She goes, oh, I haven't had any fights. I'm not that kind of instructor. I only do the Les Mills Fitness, yeah? Well, 9. Les Mills Fitness didn't work. And that's not real kickboxing. You've never been punched in the face, you've never been kicked in the face, you never felt the anxiety or the stress of earning your black belt and climbing into that ring with 10,000 people that want to knock your head off or see you get knocked out, and another 10,000 that want to see you win, you're not the same. And it's just that simple. And it's the same with these black belts. The ones who come in, they don't want to sweat, but they want the recognition and they want the world to know, hey, me and him, we're like this. No, the ones who are going to be closest to me are the ones who line up with me every day. And if you're a black belt, I don't care what gym you go to, don't be that guy. Don't be the black belt who feels like you're entitled. This is Bob Smith. Blood makes you related, but loyalty makes you family. Out.